All right. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Food for Thought Thursday. My name is Stel Coombe-Heath, binge and emotional eating recovery specialist. I am super excited to be back here today. Every Thursday, I come on and I help you answer any questions that you have about binge eating or overeating. So a few announcements as everyone hops on. I wanted to just let you know that I have created a brand new sisterhood, which is called the Wholesome Lifestyle Sisterhood. And this community is off of social media. And the reason for this is because I feel like social media can be a distraction when we're trying to focus and learn what we need to know. I don't know about you, but I don't get most of the important things and notifications on Facebook. I don't get because there's just so many. So I wanted to create a place where we can be more focused and where we could actually connect more personally. I also know that there's a lot of people who don't have Facebook. They don't want to get Facebook, but they want to be part of a community that can support them and help them with their binge and emotional eating. So that's why I've created the Wholesome Lifestyle Sisterhood. I will put the links in the comments below for you to come and join that sisterhood. So a question I had from Shirley this week was, how do I actually just recover from a binge? This week has been crazy. I had 5 binges and I just want to understand how I can get back on track. So what I said to her was, first of all, let's just breathe. Let's take a moment and let's compose ourselves. So that's the first thing I wanted to get across. When it comes to the aftermath of binge eating, usually what we hit ourselves with is that immediate emotional rush of guilt and shame, and this whole feeling of, well, you see, I can't even control myself once with food, so I am not good enough, or I don't deserve anything, or whatever the story is that we feed ourselves after that binge. And I know I've been there. I remember just how negative I felt. Some days I didn't even feel like even, wondered what's the point of life if this is how I'm going to feel, just lose myself in food and then beat myself up every single time. I absolutely hated feeling this way. And I know if you're going through this, if you're going through any experience of overindulging and then feeling that guilt, I understand how it can bring you down. So what we want to bring is the opposite. Oh my gosh, there's lightning outside. So hopefully you are all good. Hi, lovely. Hi, Lynn. So, what I wanted to get across is, in order for us to get out of a habit, in order for us to rewire our behavior, we need to start paying attention to how we connect to that specific behavior, the emotional response or the thoughts that come with that. And then we need to actually do the opposite. So the first step here is awareness. Notice when you actually feel and give yourself that guilt, right? Notice the guilt you lay on yourself once you've had a binge, and notice what that feels like in your body. And I'd like for you to, if you can, actually notice and put your hand on wherever you feel that guilt or shame. So for me personally, I used to feel it in my belly or my throat. Those are my 2 major areas, but most of my clients experience it in different areas, the heart, the chest, the throat, the jaw, the face, the head. So identify where that is for you and place your hand on that area and just say, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for losing control. In that moment, I didn't know what else to do. That is just my usual coping mechanism, but I forgive myself. There's no other thing that you have to say. You don't have to make this a story. Just bring in that forgiveness. Forgiveness is the opposite to guilt and shame. So immediately we allow just a little bit more love to a situation which we most probably couldn't help. Most binges are so automatic that you can't intervene it unless you have the tools and strategies to do so. And that's what I teach my clients in the Rewire Your Overeating Brain Mastermind. We go deep into getting solid tools into doing that. But if you can just bring in that forgiveness, that is a big step. So do the opposite to what you would normally do. That is one big tip that I can give you from, recovering after a binge day or a binge week or whatever you need. Okay, so the next tip is more of a practical one, and this one is to stay hydrated. Now, I know when you've had a lot of binge eating, your stomach might be full, you might be feeling ill. Have a glass of water, even if you just sip it every 10 to 15 minutes, one little sip. The water is going to actually help your cells just process. It's going to help to balance your blood sugar and just help your body process the overstimulation in the binge foods. So I'm not saying drown yourself in water, and I'm also not saying replace your following meals with water. No, that is not what I recommend at all. We'll get into that in a few moments. What I'd like for you to do is just make sure that you are hydrated. And usually what happens when we drink water and it helps us to just feel a little bit more calm in the nervous system as well. Beautiful. All right, so that's step 2. Step 3 is to have a decent breakfast the next day. So usually what happens is we go on this binge spree, and what we usually think or do, or what I used to do, is go, well, I binged, so now I'm going to have to make up for that, so I'm not going to eat breakfast, or I'm going to eat just the smallest little thing for breakfast. And what we do when we do that is we put our bodies and minds back into scarcity mode, which means that you are going to trigger another binge probably somewhere along the line. So make sure that you have a balanced breakfast with proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. That's going to help, again, to just reset your metabolism, reset your nervous system when it comes to, thinking about scarcity, and just soothe the body into just back into a normal routine. Our bodies love a routine. All right. Also, what it does is it resets our hormone levels back into a normal state. So hopefully that is helpful. Right. Step number 4, and I kind of touched on this earlier with the hydration, is don't skip your next meal. Carry on as if nothing happened. And the reason for that is twofold. First of all, we are taking that emotional reaction out of it, and we're taking the punishment out of it. So the punishment here is, well, you binged earlier, so you just don't get to eat. From a survival perspective, from our primitive brain perspective, that is the worst thing you can do. That is putting yourself back into scarcity, and it's going to trigger the urge to binge later on. Okay, so we want to make sure that we carry on as per normal. Don't go, well, I'm just going to not eat for the rest of the day because I binged for breakfast, or I binged the whole of yesterday, so tomorrow I'm just not eating anything. I'm just going to live on water. No, what you want to do is make sure that your body is properly fed. And I would say lean into things that will make you feel satisfied. So your fruits, your veggies, they are all amazing. Make sure that you have just to find a balanced day, where you get your proteins, your fats, your carbohydrates. Give yourself that. Honor your body no matter what happens. Leave the past in the past. And I wanted to leave you with a quote today from Louise Hay. She's one of the most amazing people that I really followed. She's one of the people that I really love getting some information about, especially when it comes to emotional stuff. And what she says is, forgiveness is a gift to myself. I forgive myself and set myself free. So forgiveness is just such a beautiful gift that we can give ourselves. And as she says, when we do forgive, we set ourselves free. We clear the slate, which means that we can move forward instead of always looking back. So I wanted to do a quick little meditation to just help you feel like you are in a space of forgiveness or whatever you need. Oh, Amanda says she loves Louise Hay. Yes, absolutely. She's so fantastic. What we'll do is we'll just come into a meditation, and you can use this meditation after a binge if you like. I do also have, I'm very much on Inside Timer, and I do have a self-love for binge eating if you ever need that one, or it's called self-love when food makes you feel better. How'd you think about the title? All right, so what I want you to do is just put down whatever you've got around you. Put your hand on your heart, whether it's one hand or stacked both hands. Gently close down your eyes and just feel into your heart. We'll take a nice deep breath through the nose. Let that breath travel into your hands or hand. And gently exhale through the mouth. This time, inhale, take the breath down into your hand and into your belly. And then from your belly back into your heart. And exhale through the mouth. And what I'd like for you to say today to yourself is, name, I forgive you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I know it is not your fault. And I deeply and truly forgive you. I'm clearing the slate and I'm letting this go. And so it is. Just breathe into, notice what you feel now. Notice the emotions. If you need to cry, cry, by all means, do whatever you need. Just be here in this essence of forgiveness. And then when you're ready, gently and slowly bring your awareness back into your breath. And we'll gently and slowly open the eyes. Okay, well done, everyone. So if you are struggling with a binge or just the aftermath of a binge, I'd love for you to reconsider these 4 steps. The first one is forgiveness. The second one is to hydrate. Third one is to have a good breakfast the next morning. And the last one is don't skip meals. I'm so happy that you're here. On a Monday, I put out questions of what you need to answer or what you need answered when it comes to your relationship with food and binge and emotional eating. So thank you so much for your questions this week. This is quite a big one. Oh, Lynn, you're so welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. The reminder of the basics. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. We think it has to be complicated. We think we have to do all these things and hop through all these hoops, but it really is as simple as just taking it back to the basics. Thanks, Lynn. All right, my loves. I am gonna let you all go. I don't want to keep these long, but a reminder here to come and join the Wholesome Lifestyle Sisterhood. There is a link in my bio on Instagram, and there is also a link that will be underneath this video in Facebook. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I can't wait to see you next week for Food for Thought Thursdays. Bye, everyone.